Hello everyone, this is Dor. Today I want to talk to you about the last man standing. The last man standing is this realization that in every space that you are in every space that you hold, there's always going to be this denying force. This denying force forms into the space in the image of a person or a group of people or something. And for example, when you hold space for a workshop, there's always going to be this one person that resists the most. Usually they don't even understand why, but they just have resistance to the space holder. They try to attack the space holder. Space holder, to put in easy terms, it's something like a facilitator. Even if it's very slight, a very tender resistance to the space holder, maybe they're going to ask some question that challenge the space holder, or sometimes it can be even like hating the space holder or getting other people to resist or to attack and try to create this opposition to what's going on in the space. So what's going on in the space is this force of moving forward, this force of let's make things work. So the last man standing is this denying force. And the interesting thing is that we discovered that if you try to get this last man standing out, someone else energetically is going to take the place of that person. And if you're going to try to take that person out as well from the space, something else would come to replace it. Maybe there's going to be like police coming down and knocking on the door, or it's going to be a storm coming in and electricity breaks. All these things are coming in because the space creates room energetically for a denying force. It's always going to be there. And just as a slight hint for you space holders out there, what you do with the last man standing is that you don't try to get rid of him, but you try to include them in the space. Of course, it can be a man or a woman, and you try to bring them as part of the space instead of trying to push them out, because that usually doesn't work. Now, that's the first level of thinking about that. To think in every space there is a denying force. If you do a workshop, if you drive on the bus, there's always this one person that is like, I don't know, it's gonna talk very loud and destroy the space. There's always gonna be something like that. And the second level of thinking about it is not only as a space holder, in life there's always this denying force. Right? An example of that is you can have the perfect day, everything works your way. It happened to me in Central America I was driving on the motorcycle. I had my phone on front. I was driving back to the island of 𝕨𝒻𝒃 from a beach, and my phone was like, I was like, wow, that's such a great day. Like everything went so smooth. The phone drops, goes underneath the wheel and breaks the whole screen. So there's always going to be this thing in your day that is going to come to bring into fruition this denying force or the last man standing. And that's the second level to think about it. So the proposal here is for yourself is to see how are you accepting, how can you accept the last man standing happening in your life. I'm saying that because I see a lot of people, they're trying to make their life perfect, or they're trying to be only about happiness. Like life is about joy. Everything needs to work so I will be happy. But then things doesn't work because you have the last man standing. And it really breaks them. It really, really crushes them. So, they have in the family, they have the one person that always like, or everything, all their friends, everything is perfect, and they're going on a trip, and then one person comes on the trip and like manage to destroy everything for them. So if you start to accept that this is part of life, this last man standing, and you start to research way to include them in the space, that can really work for you. And one example for that, let's say you're going on this trip with your friends, and there's one person that keep like you know, keep breaking the space and you know, in so many ways, right? The people have their irresponsible part that is great in destroying spaces, and maybe you can use them for something. Like, let's say, I'll give just like a very, very rough example. Don't take it as like something that is true. Anyway, don't take this video as anything that is true or a belief. Just, you know, research for yourself. But you're going on this trip, and you know, this last man standing is saying like obnoxious things. You know, he's just being like, just destroying the space. Like, everyone is talking about something. But then, you know, sometimes you can use that, for example, when the space gets sleepy, you know, everything gets too comfortable, and you know, people just doze off to their comfort zone. Then you can include this person and bring in and ask him a question like, what do you think about that? And then this person is gonna bring out all the shit that they have inside, and that kind of wakes up everyone. It's like, okay, we're in the real world here. So it's ways to include them. And if you're a space holder in your workshop, this person can be a source of non-linear possibilities. Can give a lot of examples. Sometimes I use this person when, you know, in a workshop, and they try to throw the space in the beginning, the last man standing, but then I recognize them, and then I keep going, and I see sometimes the spaces becomes like too safe for people, and then I ask the last man standing to say something, or to say what doesn't work for you in the space, or what doesn't work for you with this. Did you notice that this person didn't speak at all? You know, there's one person that is hiding, so I use the last man standing to do something about it. So you get to include them. So let me know how this experiment with including the last man standing and bringing more awareness to it in your life, tell me how it works. You can leave here in the notification, you can leave a comment, and you can tell me how it was. And I'm gonna jump from this video to another video that is connected to this. I wanted to do these two videos together, but I'm gonna keep them separate for now. And the next video is gonna be about how the last man standing in your life is not the irresponsible part that you sometimes, that this part of you sometimes sabotage your life and destroying your life. How those two things are disconnected, and that's how what's my research is about. Because for a long time I thought these two things are the same thing. I thought that this force, that's the ninth force, this last man standing force that is always there, is also the reason why I bring people into my life that, you know, destroy in a very rudimentary way my life. I bring these people into my life that create huge messes, energetic messes in my life. And in the next video I want to talk about how these two things are not the same thing. So if you want, click on the link below. I'm going to put it here so you can watch the second video. And thank you for watching this one. See you.